There's an Italian village that emergency services cannot find, even when people are dying. High in the maritime Alps of Liguria, where ancient mule paths wind through chestnut forests, sits the village of Concenti. For over 6 centuries, its stone houses have clung to these slopes. Its church bells have marked time through plague, war, and revolution. Yet today, if you search for Concenti on Google Maps, you'll find only empty hills. The village exists. 127 people live there. But in our digital age, Concenti has been quietly erased. This erasure began during the Cold War, when NATO established a signals intelligence station on the ridge above the village. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, massive radio dishes monitored Soviet communications across the Mediterranean. The facility was classified, and military cartographers removed Concenti from official maps to protect operational security. When the listening post closed in 1989, something unexpected happened. The village remained invisible. Digital mapping companies, building their databases from government sources, inherited the omission. Google's algorithms, trained on official Italian cartographic data, learned that this particular cluster of coordinates simply didn't exist. Apple Maps followed suit. Even open maps, crowdsourced and theoretically democratic, somehow never corrected the gap. Today, this digital absence has real consequences. In 2023, paramedics responding to a heart attack took 43 minutes to reach Concenti because their GPS insisted the address didn't exist. The Postal Service has begun refusing deliveries. Food delivery apps show the village as outside service area, despite being only 12 kilometers from La Spezia. Maria Benedetti, who runs the village's only cafe, keeps a handwritten map for visiting delivery drivers. She explains, "They arrived confused. Their phones tell them they're driving into nothing." The phenomenon reveals something profound about modern geography. We assume maps are neutral, objective representations of reality, but every map is a choice about what to include and what to omit. In the 20th century, those choices were made by governments and cartographers. Today, they are made by algorithms trained on historical data that may contain deliberate omissions, errors, or outdated security classifications. Concenti isn't alone. Security researchers have identified at least 47 similar ghost zones across Europe, places that existed on Soviet-era maps but vanished from digital ones. Some hide former military installations. Others protect infrastructure deemed sensitive. A few, like Concenti, simply fell through the cracks of institutional memory. The Italian government knows about Concenti's digital invisibility. In 2022, regional officials submitted formal requests to major mapping companies for correction. Google acknowledged the issue, but cited complex verification protocols. Apple hasn't responded. The bureaucracy of making a place visible again, it seems, is more complex than making it disappear. Meanwhile, Concenti's residents have developed their own navigation systems. They share GPS coordinates through WhatsApp groups. Local businesses print detailed directions on their business cards. The village has become its own informal cartographer, mapping itself back into existence, one visitor at a time. There's a deeper irony here. While Concenti struggles for digital recognition, millions of people around the world navigate their daily lives through maps that are fundamentally incomplete. Every blank space on our screens represents someone's choice about what reality we're allowed to see. In 2025, as artificial intelligence increasingly shapes how we understand geography, Concenti serves as a quiet reminder that the world we think we know is always someone else's version of the truth. Somewhere in the Ligurian hills, church bells still ring over a village that officially doesn't exist, And perhaps that's the most honest map of all. Follow quiet maps to explore the spaces between what we see and what is really there.